have two teams that love to score out of the post, but they need enough space, Brent, to do it. What's the strategy here?
Sometimes it's not just about the space, Kevin, but it's about the timing of the cuts. When a guy has a post-up opportunity, if the defense is looking at that post-up player, if you move at the right time, you can really create some incredible space for that guy, not only to score, but to sometimes find cutters who sneak behind the eyes of the defense.
And a look at the starters for San Antonio. Leonard and Gay are the forward pair. Arthur and Green are the guard shots. Saul with the
이거. 아이고.
spot, manning the middle. Gay against Anthony to the wing on the left. Second shot opportunity. Westbrook with a wide open look and a miss there on the triple. On defense, Oklahoma City. A tough loss coming against New York in their last game played.
I mean, frustrating when missed free throws become contagious. Really the Achilles heel in that one.
Yeah, you tried to put up these scoring runs, and it hurts when you all of a sudden just give away free points from the free throw line.
George, no good.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
First quarter, just over a minute played. Leonard with the ball. George picks him up. Leonard against George.
And that's why he's one of the best two-way wings out there. George will lock you down on D, and it takes a very special effort to get off a clean shot against him. Yeah, scoreless here early after their first 4 shots. They, right now, are searching for a bucket.
Gasol, a screen on George. Leonard kicks to Gasol. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And Gasol, one of the most skilled 7-footers this league has ever seen. Well, whether it's the low post, high post, flaring off picks, you want the ball in his hands.
This is his first chance at the line tonight.
And that 82% free throw percentage this season must have him feeling pretty good about himself at the line.
And Pau Gasol, a very good perimeter shooter, starting to stretch his range out beyond that three-point arc.
Yeah, his face-up game is becoming more and more prominent. Working from that elbow, he's become more of a triple threat. He can shoot it, drive it, and pass at a high level.
Adams dishes to Robertson, and George kicks to Robertson. Back to George. Outside Anthony. Shoots it. And it's Paul George with the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game.
And you can live with those over-the-back calls sometimes because at least it's an effort play.
Trying to extend the possession so you appreciate the effort. Better just to head down the court sometimes and not give up a team foul in that situation.
Jeremy Grant, who's checked in for George, buries the long-range jumper.
And off the schneid here, 1 of 5, but that's a big one.
Westbrook passes to Adams. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook.
Great effort from Adams there. We know he has that size to take the contact, but determined on that play to get the points.
Parker dishes to Gasol. And again, it's the Spurs from deep.
He's looking confident right from the opening tip.
Westbrook kicks to Anthony. Back to Westbrook from 12 feet out. Some solid defense from Gay.
And the effort and anticipation on defense. Not sure in the individual stat sheet, but effective.
Yeah, he takes a nice angle on it. He doesn't get the block, but he does get the alter.
Before his injury, Rudy Gay had made some strides on the defensive end. In general, Greg, he doesn't get enough credit sometimes for his impact on that side of the ball.
Yeah, Gay has always been a great ball hawk. I mean, he's got long arms, will pick off lazy passes. He gets a good amount of blocks for a wing player as well. Very much so underrated when you talk about his defense.
Westbrook double team. 5 on the clock. Oklahoma City needs to get off a shot. Here's Roberson, and he hits it just before the shot clock expires.
Well, I like watching Roberson get involved in the offense, especially when he gets down there. Nice soft touch down on the inside.
And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam. And a new group in here for the Thunder. Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Steven Adams. Eustace comes in for Carmelo Anthony. Alex Abrinas is checked in for Andre Robertson. That's Felton in for Russell Westbrook. Here's Abrinas. Good. A nice assist from Felton. Abrinas has got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Outside Leonard. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Leonard's got his second basket of the night.
And the commitment to seizing every scoring opportunity, Leonard outworking and out-hustling people inside.
And a nice job here early of establishing an inside presence.
Parker kicks to Leonard. Back to Parker. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. It's Gasol missing.
You're not going to see that very often. There's plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that.
That one goes. Count it.
And those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten here in the first half.
And Gasol slams it in.
And don't look now. If there's anything Leonard could improve upon, it's getting his teammates more involved. Exhibit A, that assist.
There's Abrinas. Gasol with the steal. And oh, here we go with Leonard. Nobody back. Oh,
Yeah, freakish.
Man overboard.
wow.
It looks like an orange in his hand, and Kawhi tenacious to the rim with that finish.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Thunder. And Pau Gasol had his chances to play in San Antonio before. Finally signed with the Spurs last season, and I think all would agree he's been a pretty good fit.
Well, with that kind of ability and skill set that Pau possesses as a big man, 6'11", pass, score, and play out of the low post, seemed like a natural fit for what Greg Popovich likes to do in the system. And how about the fact that he added the 3-ball last year? He made 56.
So it's the Spurs now. And there's the call on Felton. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line.
Oh, no, he's the last guy you want to put on the line. You can just about book the points every time he steps up there.
Second player taken in the 2006 NBA draft, Aldridge has been an all-star multiple times and one of the game's most prolific scorers over the past decade.
Pass to Eustace. Back to Abrinas. To the inside. Patterson. Gets hauled in by LaMarcus Aldridge.
And Kevin, they need to be consistent with their effort on the boards. You look at the box score, and they're at a definite disadvantage.
This is his second trip to the line in this one.
do a deep dive into LaMarcus Aldridge's career numbers. He is just one of the best big men shooting the basketball, especially from the mid-range, with incredible consistency. He can hurt you from all over the floor, but especially from around the 15-foot mark. That is his bread and butter.
17 seconds left in the first quarter. Double team on Aldridge. And stolen by Patterson. Oh, and a fast break for Oklahoma City. Eustace's shot is good.
Out quickly, then the beautiful execution. You can't do it any better.
There's running the floor, and then there's running the floor with purpose. And I love the energy on this play.
Just active defensively here, being extremely disruptive.
Like the aggressiveness and a great effort just to get a hand on it.
Here's Aldridge, and he gets the shot to fall after coming off the pick.
And I don't know what you're going to do there. I mean, if you're the defender and Aldridge with his height and wingspan is going to shoot over you or around you, just take a guess. Yeah, it's a disappointing sequence of plays. Absolutely inexcusable turning the ball over like that.
And out of bounds as the Thunder gain possession.
Some turnovers necessary. That one, not so much.
Gasol has been leading the charge for the San Antonio Spurs. Scoring, rebounding. He was all over the place during that quarter. They are riding his performance right now. And we'll be back with you shortly. And a moment now to hear from Steven Adams as he
So, like the youngest over there has to do everything.
Hard to imagine growing up in such a huge family, but it sounds like maybe it prepared him for life in the NBA.
Yeah, I'd say it might have toughened him up a little bit, that's for sure. Wow, 18? That is mind-boggling.
Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And taking a look at San Antonio's performance here. What do you think they've been doing or not doing?
Boy, I tell you, it didn't take them long to find their rhythm. Strong offense through one.
A nice game plan coming in, and right now sticking to it. It's a nice lead that they have.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. Taking a look at the Thunder. Westbrook and Robertson are the backcourt pair. Anthony out there with Paul George. And it's Adams in at the 5.
Carmelo really has great footwork down low, showing off the feel right there when he gets near the paint.
Outside Leonard. And the layup's good off the glass. Leonard's got the lead back up to 7 now for the Spurs. Brent, coming down the stretch of a tie game, some coaches like to substitute for offense and defense. Others don't. What would be your preference if you were coaching?
I think the idea has to totally do with matchups, Kevin. You're looking out on the floor. If all of a sudden the guy you want with the ball has a mismatch or an advantage, I'm going to stay away from any sort of timeout to give a coach 60 seconds to talk about something that he could probably shut down. I might not be able to be as creative as what's just happened in the flow of the game, and I'll trust my player to make the right play for me at that time.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, the Spurs' Greg Popovich talked about developing players. He said, our method is usually tough love. I don't think coddling works, and beating them to death mentally doesn't work either. You give them a clear picture of what's demanded, show care, understand what makes them tick. If that doesn't get through, you get rid of them. Kevin?
And the military background of Popovich plays a part in this way of thinking, David. It's why the Spurs have been so successful for so many years. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Well, when Paul George announced this summer that he intended to leave for the Lakers when the contract ran out, you knew what was coming. Even as a rental possibility, the suitors lined up, and eventually the price was paid, and now George finds himself in a Thunder uniform.
Westbrook against Parker. Aldridge, the pass to Parker. It's stolen by Anthony. Here's Aldridge. That shot is off. Good work defensively by Anthony. And too many defender came out of nowhere to land George in that trade.
You know, most thought Cleveland or maybe Boston were the front runners for his services, but the Thunder snuck in and made their team a two-star squad once again. Very interesting to see how far the duo of Westbrook and George can go.
Anthony, no one around. And that misses. That would have put him up.
And that's a rare sight. Usually shooters make the defense pay when they're that lackadaisical.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
Pass to Roberson. Oklahoma City moving it around. George with the bucket.
And I like the fact that he really was unfazed by that scoreless first quarter, and now you can see him getting into a rhythm.
And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession. And where have the shots been coming from tonight? Here's a look broken down by paint, mid-range, and three-point shot attempts so far for San Antonio.
And you can see how important those inside baskets are. This is a team that loves to work the ball inside, whether the entry pass or off of a drive. They like to feed on those high percentage looks.
And it's Leonard missing.
Like the tactics on defense there, refusing to give the shooter the awareness of Russell Westbrook to locate the open man and deliver a strike, something he's developing.
And here's Leonard from three. Another miss by Leonard.
He really suffocated him there, guys. Just excellent work.
And here's Anthony from the arc. And it's Gay with the rebound. For San Antonio, they've gone 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 3 of 6. Back to Leonard. To the inside. Adams, a nice D.
And you got to give him credit there. Great effort to contest that shot.
I love the fact that they put the security system on their house, protecting the paint there.
And count it. And a chance for one more at the free throw line. They'll put Paul George on the line. They get Paul Gasol. And a new group in here for the Thunder. Patterson, he's checked in for Adams. Grant comes in for Carmelo Anthony. Renas is checked in for Andre Robertson. It's Felton in for Russell Westbrook. Parker dishes to Leonard. And it's out of bounds. The Spurs able to retain possession here.
I'm only here to see some stats for Parker. How his last 10 games have gone. He's averaging about 7 points a game, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. And guys, no question, he's a guy with some talent. But honestly, even he'd like to see those numbers improve.
From all the whispers that we've heard, he's been working hard on his game. It just has not showed up yet in the box score.
And Brett, when you hear Donovan on the sideline or in the huddle, it's clear how big a motivator he can be for his team. He certainly gets the most out of his players from the stars to the end of the bench.
One thing that Billy Donovan did in the early part of taking the job with the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I remember it well, Kevin, I went to the UCLA campus where Billy Donovan had invited most of the roster for the Oklahoma City team, and he started to establish that trust in the off-season, being there for workouts, understanding the personalities of his team, and getting to know his guys. All of those things have reaped some incredible rewards in the early part of Billy Donovan's coaching career.
Murray with it. Al Felton defending. Aldridge against Grant. Double team on Aldridge. Ginobili outside. And Jeremy Grant picks up the foul. That's his first foul. Now here's Murray. He's covered closely. And Laverne kicks to Aldridge.
And after that solid opening quarter, you can see now he is definitely starting to cool off. And 2 for 1, that's what they'd like to get right now.
Working the clock is one element, but you also want to get as good a shot as you can.
And boy, that looked like goaltending. Yes, it is, and so they will award the basket there.
That's a very close call. I'm sure he thinks it's a clean block, but looks like it was on the way down.
23 seconds left in the first half. Tipped away and stolen by Patterson.
If they can just hold this now for the last shot.
Right, no need to give the ball back here. Run the clock down, be patient, and run a decent play.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came upright with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
Well, terrific anticipation using the hands. How are you not protecting the basketball?
Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody. Ernie Johnson, joined by Kenny the Jet. Paul George taking care of business in this one. He ended up with 15 points and 2 rebounds. An extremely potent first 2 quarters for him. Shaq, your thoughts on the Thunder?
PG-13 breaking the...
And that wraps up halftime.
All right, the second half beginning in... On the court right now for the Spurs, they've got Ginobili. Mills out there with Murray. And there's Laverne. And it's Aldridge in at the force line. Yep, it counts.
They are just killing him on the interior.
Out of bounds. Well, if you look at Andre Roberson's stats, you would wonder why he gets so much playing time. Not a great scorer, gets a ton of minutes, and I'll tell you why. He can defend wing players and great scorers in this league like a hawk. That's the reason why he became a valuable performer through the years for Oklahoma City.
Nobody near game. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Leonard's got 3 assists tonight.
And Gay is quick at getting his shot off. Can't give this guy any separation, even as the pass is coming his way.
George, double team. Anthony kicks to George. Anthony sends the pick for George. Back to Anthony. Just 3 to shoot. Lets it fly. And it's off the back rim. No good. And you look at Robertson, and he is clearly a defensive specialist for this team.
Well, he's a great wing defender and so many great offensive weapons at the 2 and 3 spot in the conference, the Western Conference, that he is familiar with. Does a great job of going out on a nightly basis and doing what he does best. That's playing defense for his ball club.
Adams, the pass to Anthony. It's deflected. Here's Westbrook. And Westbrook throws it down.
Again, using his frame and size right there, Westbrook, one of the strongest finishers we have in the game.
Taken away by Anthony. And now the fast break. Westbrook with the ball. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, the Spurs have never been the flashy team in the NBA. Tony Parker said beautiful basketball is playing the right way. Ball movement, pure, beautiful basketball is the way we've played. You have all sorts of fans, and there should be something for everybody. Kevin, he told me a long time ago, if we were in New York, people would love us.
And during Popovich's time in San Antonio, the Spurs have always played together, D.A. Got to respect their team-first approach to the game. Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. As we've seen, many teams play a little bit of a soft zone defensively. What's the best way, you think, Brent, to counteract that when you're trying to run your half-court offense?
Well, the best way to counteract anybody who's softening up on the backside of the zone is to overload that side of the court, Kevin. So now all of a sudden, if you make a shift with more players on one side of the floor, there's no way for 3 to cover 2 on the backside. That's where teams can gain incredible advantage.
So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. LaMarcus Aldridge is checked in for Gasol. Davis Bertans comes in for Kawhi Leonard. Mills, he's checked in for Green, and it's Ginobili in for Parker. Back to Mills from deep. Carmelo Anthony comes up with the rebound.
And extending the D there, putting a lot of pressure on the shooter.
Yeah, I think coaches right here are always talking about the extra pass. And the contested 3 is not your objective. One more, maybe.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
Ginobili against Westbrook. Ginobili dishes to Aldridge. Thunder with the rebound.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change.
And it's out of bounds. The Thunder able to retain possession. And a moment here to look at where the shots have been coming from for Oklahoma City.
You know, I doubt they came into this game thinking they would be doing this much damage from mid-range, but you have to give them credit for being able to see what is available in their offense and then exploit the weakness of the D. To be successful in this league, you have to be flexible, and they've done a great job of that so far.
And Adams kicks to Roberson. Outside, George. 4 on the clock. Sent back by Aldridge.
Maybe he's not the most aggressive defender or the most physical, but Aldridge does have mobility. That time he sends it back.
Again, the miss by the Spurs. The Thunder leading by 10. Offside, George. That's in there. Anthony with the assist. George has got 4 points now in the quarter.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Mills in the corner, unloads, fires the jumper from the corner and nails it. Greg, you watch the Thunder play, and it's clear that this team comes out looking to attack. Everyone on the team wants to put it on the floor and go right at the rim.
And part of that is their leader, Westbrook, just setting the tone. I mean, team finished near the top in points in the paint last season, and the addition of Paul George just helps to enforce that strength.
Outside for George. Trains the three-pointer. George has got 22.
And there's never been any question about George's three-point range. He just goes through stretches where he knocks down the three at a ridiculous rate.
And here's Mills from the arc. A second chance effort. Yep, it goes. And the Oklahoma City lead is cut to just 11 on the basket from LaMarcus Aldridge. Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. LaMarcus Aldridge standing 6'11", tall for the power forward position.
He's got the size advantage on most defenders and a devastating ability to shoot a turnaround jumper, especially over the left shoulder from the mid-range. So a great and capable scorer.
And the Thunder going with a whole new group out there.
And a moment here to check out the numbers for Mills. He's putting up 9 points a game, 3 assists, and 2 rebounds. And guys, no question, he's a guy with some talent. But honestly, even he'd like to see those numbers improve.
From all the whispers that we've heard, he's been working hard on his game. It just has not showed up yet in the box score.
And that's an intentional foul.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
Back to Felton. 1:19 left to play in the third. Here's Abrinas on the mark with the 15-footer. Abrinas has got the lead up to 13 now for the Thunder.
Nice job operating in the mid-range, using his size advantage to rise up and fire over the defender.
Drops in the tray. Mills has got 5 now.
Well, at this point in his career, playmaking is Manu's strong point. Locates the open man there.
Abrinas kicks to Patterson. Gay comes over with the double team. Felton with the ball. Picked up by Ginobili. Shot clock at 6. Grant gets a wide open look. Trying to answer back, but that three is off the mark. It's Gay with the drive and finished off by Gay.
And this is why you gotta close up all lanes to the basket. When Gay is driving inside, he is going for the finish.
There's Abrinas. Offensive rebound. Patterson. And stolen by Aldridge. And so the ball's out of bounds. Ginobili touched it last.
Not a fan of those kinds of passes.
11 seconds left to play in the third. The pass to Grant. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
Jeremy Grant just has such a great combination of athleticism and explosiveness. It's up to him to find familiar spots on the floor and do a good job of playing off his teammates to make an impact on every game that he plays.
Timeout.
Just 4 seconds left in the third quarter.
Start it.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. They want to keep it rolling here following the win against Dallas.
And as shaky as they looked in that game, guys, it showed a lot of mental toughness that they were able to come out and get a win.
From deep, Gasol, and released it in time, but it's off the mark.
Grant could be such a devastating defender down there with those long arms and athleticism to contest shots.
And so it's the Oklahoma City Thunder going into the break with a 10-point lead. They've dictated the pace, pushed the ball at every chance, and it's paying off for them. We've got more in store for you right after this. A chance now to hear Greg Popovich talking to his team just moments ago.
We had a lot of great shots that haven't dropped.
Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play getting started. Spurs trail by 10 on the wings of Abrinas and George. Adams is out there with Grant. Then it's Felton in at the point. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. Too long in the paint. He's hit with a 3-second violation. And for the Spurs last season, falling short of their goal of winning another title. But Greg Popovich, Brent, still called it a great season.
Well, they had their second most wins ever under Pop last year. 7 new players to integrate. In the first year without rock-solid, steady force Tim Duncan down there on the low block. They did have some injuries late down the stretch, and you can look back on another season where they gave their best effort and put themselves in position to get another NBA championship.
And he got the whistle, so he'll have a 3-point play opportunity.
And George just has that extra gear. Well, once he kicks into it, he is nearly impossible to stop.
Spurs trail by 10. Outside Leonard. The feed to Aldridge, and Aldridge slams it in.
Well, that's what he's capable of doing right there. Aldridge with the great length and just enough bulk to absorb that hit and earn the N1.
Roberson, he's checked in for Alex Abrinas. And that one falls for LaMarcus Aldridge.
How about the Spurs clinching their 20th straight playoff appearance last season? An amazing run, more than twice as long as the next active streak. And the longest streak in the league was the Sixers from 1950 to 1971. I think the Spurs are going to get past them.
Just 5 to shoot. Here's Roberson. Here's Adams. That shot was off. Great D that time from Leonard. Oh, tried to dunk it home, but drew the foul, and it'll go to the line. And Greg Popovich tied for the longest streak of consecutive playoff appearances by a head coach.
Well, how about 18 straight 50-win seasons for Pop? Just a remarkable run of tremendous success, where you could look at maybe 5 or 6 other opportunities where the San Antonio Spurs could have won another NBA title. You realize young DeJounte Murray was still in diapers the last time that they won less.
Anthony's checked in for Oklahoma City. Russell Westbrook comes in for Raymond Felton. Adams' shot is good.
Well, using his wide frame right there, Adams able to get in the position he wants and drops it through.
Westbrook against Leonard. And the foul's called on Russell Westbrook. That'll be his second foul of the game.
It's close, but, didn't get on balance quick enough.
And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession. Leonard against Westbrook. And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Man, when Leonard gets this kind of scoring rhythm going, very few defenders have the strength and athleticism to slow him down, unless he could guard himself.
Rejected by Gasol. And now running up the court. Leonard pushing it up. Green with the ball. Leonard with the ball. Westbrook picks him up. And the dunk by Aldridge.
I don't think LaMarcus is quite as explosive as his younger years, but still has the athleticism to get up above the rim.
And Kawhi Leonard, the only player other than Michael Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon to be an all-star starter. Greg win the Defensive Player of the Year and win a Finals MVP award.
And Kevin, I think it's fair to say that's some lofty company to be in. You know, you worry with the retirement of Tim Duncan. Would the Spurs go through a lull? And they found another two-way superstar to kind of build their team around, much in the same in terms of mannerisms as a Tim Duncan.
Roberson, good. Nice assist from Westbrook. Westbrook's got assist number 5 here tonight.
Continuing his growth as a leader on this team. Westbrook now becoming one of the sharper playmakers in the NBA.
Gay kicks to Leonard. Snatched away. Oh, and a fast break for Oklahoma City. Outside, George. And just about 3 minutes through the fourth quarter here, Anthony kicks to George. Tries to keep it alive. And out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession. Now here's Leonard. Over in the corner, Green, wide open, and good. He nails it.
Yeah, not shaken at all. Green has hit a ton of big shots in big situations throughout his career. Difficult guy to rattle.
So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
He hits the second from the line.
Not a perfect trip to the line, but at least he made this game a 2-possession affair.
Outside Leonard. Outside Green. Back to Leonard. Gasol against Adams. Clock at 4. Gasol passes to Leonard. Looking for Gasol. He gets it there. They get it again. Oklahoma City leading by 4. The 3 from Anthony. Good on the 3-point shot.
Well, Melo has had a 40% year shooting from beyond the 3-point mark, and so you got to respect that ability.
Leonard attacking, launches it. It's tipped. Westbrook with the steal. And here we go with Westbrook running it up the court. Poked away. Spurs trail by 7. Right side, Green. Aldridge kicks to Green. And pushing it up here. Here is Oklahoma City. Anthony leading the charge.
Felt like the whole team knew they were going to get out into transition, and Melo takes full advantage.
Outside, Green. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Leonard's got his 8th assist in the game.
And defensively, neither side able to get many stops.
Well, it's one of those nights where if a team down the stretch can get 1 or 2 stops, they may win it.
George dishes to Westbrook. Just 5 on the clock. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. First free throw is good, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And so he drops them both. It's an 8-point game. For the Spurs, this one's not looking good. Gasol, a screen on Westbrook. So the first one drops, and that narrows the gap to 7.
Just another area where Kawhi continues to improve. One of the better free throw shooters in the league now, especially at the small forward spot.
And good aggressive basketball in that trip. Drawing the foul, converting the free throws, but then also narrowing the gap. That hard finish there, guys.
And only one hand needed for that one. There's 42 seconds left in the fourth quarter. They kick it out to Green. It's in! Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5.
And no problem having Green take big shots in big games. He's been tested.
And it goes out of bounds. That one's off Anthony.
And this is where you have to sharpen up your passing. That's a careless turnover.
A 3 from Leonard. Nails it! And he has brought them to within 2 points.
And such a clutch shooter. I mean, he lives with a big shot. And when he's rolling like this, watch shot.
Green against Westbrook. Yes!
Oh, shocking there. That one's amazing.
Well, you play your heart out all night long, and then just one or two shots at the end decide the outcome.
Leonard against Westbrook. Three-pointer. It's good! And what a sensational bucket to bring them within one.
Boy, if you're going to just hand him this shot, you might as well put a bow on it. Green loves the catch and shoot. Melo with another moment.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. They're down by 3. 5 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, what's your take?
And with this much time, they should be able to draw up a play and get themselves a decent look from the three-point line. Still, the D is going to be waiting for it in a contested three. Never an easy shot.
Here's Leonard. Over Westbrook. Off target with that shot. So a close game sees Oklahoma City taking this one. That was a fun night of basketball. Fabulous finish as they continued to wait out until the very last moment to seal it.
And there are so many times when you see these tight games won at home, that advantage of having that crowd behind you oftentimes is the ultimate X factor.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much. Carmelo, you have lived in the media spotlight for a long time. How do you put that out of your head when you get on the floor?
I'm just playing ball. My team came to play today. We was focused, and we wanted it. We willed our way to this win.
A great performance, Carmelo. Thank you. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Brett Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.